What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period. Girl is giving daily recaps
Girl is
or
giving a lot of recaps. Maybe not daily.
daily. Occasionally, but child, we're here.
Occasionally recaps with TRK. That's kind of cute. So first, you see the title. Miss Reilly won the first HOH, and she said, "I'm making the first Alliance H."
Yeah, she said, "I'm not Frenchie." Well, might be.
She said,
but I'm damn sure not Daniel. I'm Reilly.
I'm not Daniel. She is right. It really gives Reilly. It's like a difference between the last couple of first HOHs, but it's still giving. Hold on, girl. Calm it down.
Still getting a little sloppy, but it's way better than a Frenchie and a Daniel.
It is. She's doing a lot. So first, before you watch this video, a lot of the context of our last live feed update, where we talked about how the house was being divided, is going to be a little bit important to understand this update. So watch that first. Subscribe to us. Like that video, this video, comment on all of those, and share it with your friends.
And let us know any other topics in the house that you want to talk about, like moving forward, because we're here occasionally.
Occasionally. Boom. So let's get into it. First, we can discuss, after Reilly won HOH, she was having one-on-ones, and the first kind of big conversation she had was with Jared.
Now, this conversation, and honestly, all yesterday, I was getting kind of not annoyed with Jared, but just like, Jared, you're about to ruin your mother's game. Because walking around the house, it just seems like his long-term goal for the alliance that he wants to be a part of is not going to be able to protect Sari and the allies that she discussed wanting to work with. So in this conversation with Reilly, they're basically discussing Kirsten, who is the pariah of the house, mainly formed through Jared and Felicia, no shade, but it's like she's a pariah of the game, and they discuss basically not liking her, potentially keeping her on the block. Jared is working really hard right now because he wants to get pulled off of it, and he also, because Sari asked him to, trying to get Felicia pulled off. So in this conversation, he's kind of like trashing Kirsten, but then they're also going into who they want to work with. And they're mentioning the names. Reilly mentions Jag, because that's her bestie. And he mentions Matt and Luke, because he loves Matt and Luke. And they talk about bringing others in, maybe Blue. And Jared mentions in this conversation, I have Sari and Felicia and Izzy in his back pocket. And I was just like, nigga. Child.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
But it's crazy because the best thing about Jared and Sari's relationship was that no one knew of them. So they didn't know they were related. They didn't know that they can be put together as a duo. The issue with him now expressing that they are, in fact, he has them in their back pocket, that's never going to go away. Felicia and Sari are already seen as a duo. So now that and Izzy is going to see the trio with them. So now that Jared is saying that they're all in his back pocket, I don't think that's ever going to go away. Like, they're always going to remember in the future that Jared has these three people that's outside of this big group. So I just think that's crazy on his part. I think he did good because, of course, Reilly, we learned this conversation, she does love Sari. She does love Felicia. She's considering at this point pulling off Felicia with Jared. But overall, I mean, as we get to the end of this video, neither of them are in it. So
I don't. My thing is, if I was Reilly and he told me that, I would have been like, oh, so you're not even in the alliance. So you're not in it. Sari's not in it, and your whole alliance is in it. I would have fully been like, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
Luckily, Reilly not eating it up like that.
Was in her Frenchie bag a little bit. Because after that, she was literally like, okay, well, the 8-person majority is going to be me, Jag, Matt, Luke, Jared, Felicia.
Literally all of Jared's friends
in America.
She was like, okay, Jared, all of your friends, and me and Jag.
And then me and Jag. Yeah. No, that's
girl. Right. So after this, what happened was Jag
and Blue.
Right. Yeah. Jag and Blue came in the room after this, and she was able to kind of speak with them without Jared in the room at first.
Yeah.
And when she was speaking with Jag and Blue without Jared in the room, she was relaying this alliance. She mentioned Sari and Felicia, and Jag was like, oh, hold up. He said, hold up. But before he can get into detail why he was telling her to hold up, Jared came in, Izzy came in, and it kind of broke that up, right? So we then have Jag speak to, what is that girl name? Reilly, separately after this, and he's like, look, before we start bringing people in the alliance, I think me and you should have a conversation about the alliance first, solo dolo. And she was like, okay, period, boo.
Yeah, this is also when they make the final two. So this is the first final two of the season as well. And I mean, at this point, because Jag, when they were in the room, when it was her, Blue, and Reilly, they were discussing that Luke, Matt, and Jared, they come as a package deal. So they're a trio. And that's when they were basically discussing, okay, well, they're a trio in the group. And if we're a trio in the group, Reilly, Jag, and Blue, they're going to stick with each other. So we need more numbers. So, of course, we're not outnumbered. And then that's when Reilly literally mentions, well, Cirie and Felicia. And like, so I think that's why Jag was like, okay, we need to discuss with each other.
Yeah.
Before you go tell anyone else. She does not listen, but hey.
No. So after this, Reilly has a series of conversations throughout the night. First, she has a conversation with Corey, a one-on-one with Corey, and she has a one-on-one with Cameron. Now, the one-on-one with Corey she had the one-on-one with Cameron first. Let's knock the Cameron one out first. The one-on-one with Cameron basically came to her and was like, look, girl, the five of us, we're good. I love the five of us. The five of them being the scary room, which is Reilly, Cameron, Matt, Jag, and Blue. He says, the five of us, I'm locked with that. I love us a lot. And Reilly was like, oh, because every time Reilly hears somebody say something, she's down with them. She's down for the ride.
From Reilly, what I got is that if she feels like she has any trust in you, she'll listen to anything you say. Because in this conversation with him, it was giving, because Cameron is really close with Corey and things like that. So I think this was also kind of the initial start of her being like open for pulling Corey off and working with Corey, because Cameron, it seemed like he was trying to come up with like, they're a duo, him and Reilly, and then she'll have Jag, and then he'll have Corey, and he wants to keep the alliance pretty compact. So it's just like, with that alliance with him, she's just like, okay, yes, this 6 would work, and you get this. So it's like a whole different structure than what she's discussed with Jared and Jag.
And Jag. And Blue. And then another one comes. So after this, she does have a conversation with Corey. Now, Reilly, initially on our last video, we mentioned, Reilly did say that she wanted Corey to be a part of this big 9 she was first thinking about anyways. He was one of he was like the 9th. So she already had an idea about him. And then after the conversation with Cameron, she was coming around, and now she's having a conversation with Corey. And in this conversation, it's seeming like Corey basically eats her up. It was a long conversation because at first they literally started talking about just anything. But when Corey was saying, I got your back, he was like, and pause, because Reilly has this idea that whoever she pulls off the block, she needs in the alliance for some reason. So really, Corey's like trying to make sure he's the one getting pulled off the block. But in Riley's mind, she's like, he needs to be in my alliance. He needs to be in my alliance. Because she was telling Jared,
like, I'm not giving someone safety that's not working with me.
Basically. Exactly. And I think it's an okay idea, but that's literally why she wanted Felicia in the alliance initially, because she thought she was pulling Felicia and Jared off. After this conversation with Corey, she's now on the mindset as, I'm pulling Corey and Jared off, and Corey's going to be added into whatever group I end up making, and plus the conversation with Cameron, right? It's giving, girl, talk to Jack. Like, she needs to sit down and shut up. And that's kind of what she does, honestly. Because after this,
well, there's also a conversation with Cirie as well. Yeah.
After this, we get a conversation with Cirie first before she sits down. And Cirie eats this up.
Yeah. Social icon. I didn't see it live. I'm going to go back and watch it live. But I did see the clip on Twitter of basically Cirie telling her, like, you know, you really got me, and I think you can go far in this game, and you can trust me, and things like that. And girl, Reilly was eating that up. Reilly gave her a hug. She was in tears, baby, in tears. And at this point, it seems like she's back on the let's add Felicia and Cirie to the equation type of thing. Because in this conversation with Cirie, she's dropping that she's cool with Jag and basically exposing the people that she's kind of wanting to work with. So I would argue that Cirie is very aware through Jared and now directly through Reilly that an 8-person group or some group of some form is being formed through Reilly. And by the end of the night, like I said, Cirie's not in that anymore. So that's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
I will say, she told Cirie she's closest to Matt. She told Izzy earlier in the day with the conversation where Izzy was eating her up that she's closest to Jag. And they compared notes, Cirie and Izzy, and they found out that she told them 2 different names as who she was closest to. So But but that's the thing. She is both of them are in her ideal core, which honestly we can probably hop into because after this conversation, Sarita, that was kind of the last important one. And then late at night, last night, literally 6 in the fucking morning, her, Blue, and Jag were finally able to have their
big three. Don't need a big speech.
It's Little Weezy, the Barbie, and Jaggy Jag.
Oh my god.
These niggas go.
Now are they the big three for real?
They're eating. I'm sorry.
They are eating. Like, I'm over it.
They're my big.
I'm not over it. It's like I feel weird. I don't really have any like strong connections to this season. Like I'm not like just you know what I mean? Because I actually like that they're playing the game. I like that they're building a group. They're building an alliance. It's just like my face.
This is what I say, and I tweeted it after night 1 with Kirsten. Because one thing about me, I'm a stand-up Black woman. There's 4 in the season.
Yeah.
But after night 1 with Kirsten, not just what Kirsten was saying, but what Felicia and Jared and all of them were saying, I was like, oh God, I don't know if I can put myself through this because I was standing Kirsten. Kirsten's gonna go the fuck home. Sorry. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I think what's annoying about it all is like we spoke about it a little bit. It's just that like Reilly even mentioned on feeds, like the reason why she started distrusting Kirsten, who probably could have been in this group because she's been very social, was because what Felicia told her about what Kirsten has been saying about the guys forming an all guys alliance. And at first I was like, well, Felicia getting talked off the block. Then okay, Felicia, you kind of ate that, but now she's not even getting off the block and she's not even in the majority alliance. So it's like not only are you not in it, Cerie's not in it, Jared is basically just an add-on, and now McCall and Kirsten aren't in it at all. So what they really should have done their core 4 Black Women Alliance in the beginning, like they said they wanted to. Yeah. They imploded, and here's the result.
And I got drugged on Twitter for saying that. Follow us on Twitter at Reality Kingdom. But on Twitter, I tweeted, I was like, I think Cirie and them have focused too much on just talking kind of about Kirsten and being worried about her instead of pushing the target on someone like Corey and making sure they're safe. And now, people drug me. But now Corey's in an alliance. And none of them are.
So is Cameron.
So it's Cameron.
And it's getting to the point to where like they're building a majority and none of Cerie's or their numbers are in it. And they could have been in it if they just got ahead of that curve. Yeah. But like Pharaoh mentioned, it gave like, we're all just talking about Kirsten. We're all just talking about Kirsten, who's a potential ally for all of Cerie's side. She's literally telling them the information about the group that's basically forming. Yeah. It's all guys plus Reilly. I think America may be in it. And instead of taking that information and doing what they want with it and forming, they're talking shit about it. Yeah. And mainly it was Jared and Felicia that tanked Kirsten's game through Reilly, and now it's not helping any of them.
Yep, because first Reilly Jag and Blue, they sat down, and first Reilly cleared it up. She said, by the way, Kirsten is my target. She told Izzy this earlier. She's told Corey this in her one-on-one, Cameron in this. So Kirsten is her target. And she told them, girl. And honestly, I have to just emotionally separate myself. Same. Oh well. Like, not oh well though. Fuck.
But at the same time, it's her own potential allies that did. Felicia should should have been working with her, but they were going to work with each other. Jared was going to work with her. They tandemly trashed her game to everyone that she could have been cool with, because even to last night on feeds, Matt and Jag were having conversations saying, well, we like Kirsten.
Yep.
It wasn't until Reilly told the information that Felicia told her that Jag was like, oh, well, I guess you do got to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opinion of the house. When you start hearing other people feel like you don't like Kirsten, now you feel like you don't like Kirsten, and now it feels right. That's the thing. The only person that Reilly has heard anything negative about is Kirsten. So why the fuck wouldn't she target her?
I wouldn't. You hate Kirsten?
Well, that's T. I wouldn't. But in her mind, But anyways, so first the conversation starts off. She says, my target is Kirsten, and I plan on pulling off Corey and Jared from the block. So Felicia is going to be the pawn. Kirsten is going to be the target. They haven't talked about Renan at this point in the conversation. So
and they need to, because Kirsten's winning veto.
But that's the thing. They talk about it a little later in the conversation slightly, because they talk about Kirsten is winning veto. Shout out to that. But then they get into who do they want in their alliance. So first they say, we're the core. They name themselves. What the fuck did they name?
Do you have the picture?
The picture of what?
Oh, it's up. Stupid.
Okay. They named themselves the 3 of them, Blue, Jag, and Reilly, are, what did they say? I wrote it down. I hope. Oh, crowd control. They named themselves crowd control, the big 3. So then they said, we need a 5. This is going to be the handful, because it's 5 of them. Cute, I guess.
That's cute.
They say, They say the 4 and the 5. They do about a lot of loops about who it could be, but they end up on the scary room, which is Matt and Karen. So the 5 of them are going to be the handful. Last night they said Reilly's going to wake up right when the music comes on. She's going to run down to the scary room, and that's when they're going to solidify the 5. So boom. So that's going to be the 5 ideally. And then they said we need 3 more people. Blue was the one who made sure America was in the alliance, I would like to say, because they were talking about 3, and they were like, Luke, Jared, Corey, Luke, Jared, Corey, or maybe Red. And Blue was like, America? And they were like, oh, okay. And they were like, you know what? We do like America. So I felt like Blue really made sure America was in there. And Blue was like, because I have America. And Blue made it seem like, okay, so I have America on the outside. Jag, you can have Jared, and Reilly, you can have Corey.
Blue Kim Mitchell. Girl. Blue Kim Mitchell.
I'm sorry. So basically, the core is like the 3 on the outside are going to be our kind of plus ones. Mm-hmm. We're the core, and then we have a 5. So they really kind of, honestly, the structure would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
If
Jared wasn't in it.
Jared was not in it.
Because as we were saying, like, we're speculating that Jared is going to go tell Suri all this information. And Suri and Felicia were under the impression that Felicia would get pulled off, that Felicia and Suri and Izzy were going to be somehow a part of this. And Reilly Jag and Blue mentioned Suri, Felicia being like a safety net with Hassan through Blue, but they're not in it. And they're all smart enough to know not being in it does not mean shit. So Jared's entire structure of Luke and Matt and all of his bros being in it with just Reilly and maybe Blue is not happening. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen when Jared wakes up and realizes he's in an 8-person alliance with people he don't want to be in with. And what Suri's going to find out, and Felicia's going to react to her still being on the block. Like, this is going to be really interesting.
Exactly. And just to clarify, because it's kind of eats, Blue was like, outside of this alliance, I have Izzy and Hassan. Reilly, you can have Suri and Felicia since you had that combo with them. And then Jag, you can kind of have Luke. So it kind of eats that they're talking about inside the lines and outside the lines who they're going to have, but we move. But yes, basically Reilly said this morning, first she's going to do the scary room thing and lock it in with them. Or first she's going to talk to Felicia or whatever, either order. Then she's going to tell Felicia, by the way, you're going to be the pawn. So she's going to let her know, she's not going to pull her off, that you're going to have to be the pawn. And she's going to try to explain that to them. And then later in the day, they're going to all try to make sure America, Jared, and Corey are on board. Blue's going to make sure America's on board. Jag's going to make sure Jared's on board. And Riley's going to make sure Corey's on board or something like that. To make sure that the 8 knows they're the 8 and they're going to form this alliance throughout today. So y'all, that's probably going to be the structure of the game. It's going to have to get blown up. Jared's probably going to blow it up to his mama. And Suri's going to need to form her side because everyone on this right side of the picture
are not even working together.
They're not even really on the line.
And unfortunately, they can't even get Luke because Luke is just probably going to protect this big majority, whether he's in it or not. They don't even like Luke.
Shout out to Luke not being in it. I'm sorry. Love that. Love that because he didn't do anything.
But this is where it goes back to why was Luke even casted, because now he's not in the majority alliance, but he's also going to be protecting the majority alliance. He doesn't talk to anyone in the minority, so they can't pull him in even if they wanted to.
Yep. So Suri's going to have to make her structure today, or it's going to be real bad.
Yeah, should have been yesterday, to be honest. But honestly, we're here today.
We're here today. But yeah, that's pretty much the update. Stay tuned because we might update y'all on something else if something else big happens. Also, every Tuesday, every Thursday, we'll be here live. Tuesday, we'll be recapping the entire week, rating the players. Thursday, we'll be going live right after the eviction. So maybe get there, be there, or be square, period. Make sure y'all follow us everywhere. Support us or whatever. And baby, we're out. Period.